Hey, what's going on, guys? Shane here with my buddy Ricardo.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Today we're going to be talking about the overhand right. So how to throw it, distance and timing, and also how to defend against it. Now this is that one punch knockout, one of the most powerful punches you can throw. So let's take a look at how it's done. All right, let's take a look at how this punch is actually thrown. So it's called an overhand right. Why? You know why it's called an overhand right, Ricardo?
I don't know why it's called an overhand right.
It's called an overhand right because it comes over his hand. So let's take a look in this boxing stance. The straight right hand, or the reverse punch as some people call it, usually comes straight through the guard. It's a straight punch, and they say throw it down the pipe, right? What does that mean? Imagine there's a pipe from Ricardo's chin to my fist, and my fist has to go right down that pipe without touching the edges. That's a straight right. But the overhand comes over his lead hand in this looping motion here. Now I'm aiming to hit him on the ear, on the chin, maybe just behind the ear, and if I land this powerful shot, it can knock him out. So the mechanics of this punch, some people explain it as throwing a baseball, right? So when I throw a baseball, I wind up, and I come over top here. I get a lot of momentum into this shot, right? I get my hips, my shoulders, a lot of torque, a lot of velocity builds up into this punch, and then it's transferred into the target. And that's how I get that KO. But let's talk about range and distance here. So if Ricardo touches me with a jab, right? This is one of the best times to throw this punch. If he can touch me with his jab, then I can probably touch him with my punch, right? Which I can. But if he's a little bit taller, if he has a longer reach, then I have to adjust to that. So let's talk about what we're going to do with our feet. My left foot is going to take a step in the direction that the punch is going. Okay, so I'm throwing this right hand. My left foot is going to step out this way. So I'm going to start to bear some weight onto that hip, onto that leg, and that's when I can really get a lot of momentum into this shot. Now, some people throw it from this wide base here. They take just one step. Personally, I like to take a step with the rear foot as well. We talked about this in a footwork video that I just uploaded where I take the step and then I'll also take the step with this rear foot. I don't like having a wide base too much. I like covering the distance with both feet. So again, Ricardo throws that jab. I'm going to take my head off the center line as I take the step with my left foot. Now the punch is starting to come over top. I'm going to take this step here, or if I know it's going to land, then yeah, I can keep that wider base and sort of lean into the shot. But again, it's preference, it's up to you. I like being in position. Just in case the punch doesn't land, he blocks it or he eats it, I want to be able to move and have my feet right underneath me, whereas if I'm wide, then it's going to take a second to adjust again. Okay, so if he's a little bit further, again, I need to take that step. If he's in punching range, he lands that jab, I don't even have to take the step. I know it's going to land, okay? So the best time to throw an overhand right is when he throws that jab. But we talked about taking the head off the center line. When I lean out to my left and put my weight over that left leg, I'm actually going to dodge his jab the same time that he throws it. Boom. Okay, so I'm not taking any damage there. Is there a risk that I'm running into his right hand when I do that? Yeah, absolutely, but that's boxing. That's the game of chess that we play, right? So throw that right hand instead. Boom, right? So there is a risk, and now his straighter punch beats my rounder punch. So let's talk about that next. How wide of a trajectory should this punch have? Should it be a really wide looping haymaker shot, or should it come just around his hand when I throw the punch? Again, this is preference. If you watch someone like Fedor Emelianenko, MMA fighter, he would throw very looping wide shots, and he would even turn his palm out to make sure that he would hit with his knuckles. But he often used this to get into a headlock so that he can go for judo throws, sambo throws, whereas boxers and kickboxers like Andy Sauer teach to keep it very direct, very straight. I remember Andy Sauer teaching at a seminar. He said, throw it exactly like you would throw a straight right, except by taking your head off the center line and taking that step with your lead foot, it's naturally going to put a little bit of an arc on it. Okay, so from here, boom, I'm throwing a straight punch. I'm trying to keep it very linear, very straight, and then by taking my head off the center line, that's what's going to give it a little bit of an arc. So practice both of them, and then you'll figure out what works best for you. And then the last topic now is, how do we defend against this shot? So if Ricardo throws that jab and I throw a very looping shot and he just pulls back, he pulls his jab back and he leans back a little bit, he's going to evade that punch. So throw that jab, boom, I come over top and then he evades. He takes his head away. He takes the target away. Very simple. It's just an understanding of range there. So if he's very quick with his jab and he steps right back, I'm going to get caught on the head and I'm going to miss my overhand. So one more time, he throws that punch, boom, and he evades the shot. Next could be a block. So we can just answer the telephone by bringing our wrist up to our ear and bringing the elbow up. So he's just going to do that, throw this punch, boom, just blocks it here. Now he doesn't want to do that too much throughout the fight because if I throw this very big, powerful punch, the energy from my punch is still going to go through his hand, into his head, and it can still do some damage. It's going to wear on his hand, and it's going to rattle his head a little bit. So the best bet is to get his head out of the way completely or to block it with the gate block. So the gate block is going to be sort of intercepting the punch. And what he's going to do is lift his elbow and his arm up, trying to get his forearm into my elbow, and he's going to protect his chin by tucking it underneath his shoulder. So when I throw this overhand right here, boom, he's just going to stop it from coming in right there. One more time, boom. And if I keep doing that, I keep throwing these powerful shots, even just those two right there, I can feel it in my forearm muscles. Over the course of 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, that's going to wear on my arm, my muscles, and it's going to be a form of limb destruction, and I'm not going to want to throw that punch anymore. So 3 ways to defend against it are leaning back, again one more time, lean back, boom, blocking it with the helmet guard, boom, or the gate block, reaching up, boom, and then destroying the forearm muscles. Alright guys, there you have it. The overhand right absolutely is a knockout punch, but you have to set it up using your other punches. You have to understand the distance and timing as well, so make sure you practice it, try it in sparring, and then you can use it in your fight. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. Until then, I'm Shane.
I'm Ricardo.
Fight tips for the underdogs.